Alright, hello everyone, welcome. I am going to be doing a reading vlog. I will be reading, or starting to reread, Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings, in preparation for the 5th book coming out at the end of the year. That is what I'm hoping to do these kind of like what I did with the Inheritance trilogy that one time, a couple weeks ago. I am hoping to do these basically every Saturday. I will be reading it, and then I will upload on, I will have it go up on Monday. So that is my plan for that. So again, I will be watching Gavin Reads It All's sprints while I do this, and then when the sprint is done, I will come back. I will tell you guys a bit about what I have been reading. I intend to keep this spoiler free because I personally believe that everyone should read these, and if you haven't yet, then you are not a fantasy fan as far as I'm concerned. So I will so that is the plan for today. If you guys all pull up a good book and enjoy. Oh, as promised, if I spin it, we do videos of all of the videos. Should be good. I did a video of this evening. It was just on the stream. Hello everyone, welcome back. We just finished our first sprint. For anyone who was wondering, yes, I have the normal hardback of this. This is what it looks like under the dust sleeve. I got in that sprint about 50 pages through, which is about normal for me. So as we open up the Stormlight archives, we are introduced to a couple of characters we don't really know anything about. We get one chapter with them, talking about how they have survived a battle and how they are abandoning a pact they made some time ago, and how they are abandoning one of their own to be trapped in some sort of prison. And then we skip forward from there. 4,000 years, I believe, is what it is. From the 4,500 years, where we are introduced to a character called Seth Son Villano, who is apparently been tasked with killing a king, the king of the Alethi people, for some reason. And he is hired by a group of people called the Parshendi, who are apparently in the process of signing a peace treaty with said king they have ordered the death of. An odd circumstance, sure, even he mentions it. It is a bit of an odd circumstance to be in, but one he is in anyway. Then we see him absorb something from a gemstone, which is called Stormlight. And now Stormlight is the magic for the book series. It is what allows people to use magic. And Seth makes note that people are unused to it because it is been thought to be a lost ability. But we see then a brief fight scene between him and a bunch of guards where he shows off this power that he has, which can effectively reverse gravity, is the easiest way to do it. The abilities are called lashings, and he can lash himself to something to make that be down for him. He can lash objects to one object to another object, be it a person, a door, a piece of furniture, whatever. And he changes what is down for that object. Then he can lash two items together, making them much harder to move. He does that to seal a doorway. And the last lashing is one that you can use to attract objects to a certain spot. But he gets in, so he fights through a bunch of guards very easily, deals with all of them. And then we see him get into a fight. He has a weapon which is called a shard blade. Shard blades are unique weapons in so much as they will cut through inanimate objects like a hot knife through butter, but they have a bit of a harder time cutting through living flesh. But if they do cut through living flesh, they leave no mark, and if the blow would be everything that would have been severed with the object is killed. So if they cut through like your elbow, from your elbow down would be dead and unusable, basically. if they cut a vital thing off, we see him landing blows that would likely have cut heads off. And the book describes how those people's eyes burn, and after that, we see him get into a fight with a man in what is called shard plate, which is just very durable plate armor that also seems to use Stormlight to allow it to move around. Both items, the blade and the plate, are important items that will come up later. Excuse me. But the gentleman that ends up fighting, who is in the plate, is the king. He ends up killing him, and his dying request to Seth is to let his brother know that he must find the most important words a man can say. So, but that is where we leave Seth. Then we pick up with a young boy named Sen, 5 years now, 5 more years farther into the future, as he gets put into a spear wall for the first time. And he is completely unprepared for the battle he is about to get into. And here is also where we are introduced to the first of what will be our main characters, being Kaladin, and he is called Kaladin Stormblessed, and while I don't think we're ever actually told what his last name is, Stormblessed is just kind of used as his last name. And he is a platoon leader in this army, and they are fighting a battle, and we watch from Sen's perspective as Kaladin leads his little platoon in this battle, and then we leave that battle with a shard bearer, as they are called, a man with shards, either a shard blade or shard plate, is charging it, and that is where that ends. We then skip forward again, and this is going to be the last time skip, if I remember right. 8 months to now Kaladin being in jail, where he is, or he's not in jail, he is in a prison wagon, and is being led, taken off somewhere. We are told that he has tried to escape several times, and it hasn't worked at all yet. So that is as far as I've gotten so far. So I will talk to you guys after when I do my. I will talk to you guys when I do my next update. Then. fucking do this recording, man. Idiot. Hmm. It's a little strong. Hmm. Right. Well, welcome back, everyone. I am now 84 pages into The Way of Kings. This will be the last recap in this video. And so, let's get started. So, when I last talked to you guys, we had just been introduced to Kaladin, and we do find out a bit more about him, we also get to one of the main things that happens in this book, where we will be jumping around between main characters. So I will talk about them one at a time. So I will talk about what we dealt with Kaladin, and where we will be leaving Kaladin off for this episode. So Kaladin, as I mentioned last time, was in a prison wagon for being imprisoned for, as he admits, not for killing a Light Eyes, but not killing a different Light Eyes, who we find out later, assumedly is one. What's up? So he was the Bright Eyes he assumedly did not kill is Bright Lord Amaran, who was the Bright Lord in charge of the army. Now, this isn't something that's mentioned yet, but I'll go ahead and say it. Bright Lord and Dark Eyes are just terms in the book for two different castes of citizens, and it is entirely based on the color of their eyes. Bright colored eyes versus dark colored eyes. So that's what that means. Bright Lord just means he is a noble with bright eyes. And not a lot happens with Kaladin yet. We do get introduced to another character, a Wind Spren. Now, Spren are embodiments of something. Wind Spren are embodiments of wind. Fire Spren are embodiments of fire. Rot Spren are, embodiments of decay, that kind of thing. So he calls her a Wind Spren. However, he does note that there is something weird about her. Now, he acknowledges that the bigger Spren, the more powerful, I guess, Spren can take on different shapes. But usually Spren are just some amorphous embodiment of whatever element they're part of. But this one is different and takes the form of a human woman in girlish clothes, so a young humanoid woman. And she talks to him, calls him by name and whatnot, and really gets to him when she does that. Other than that, Kaladin, we find out that Kaladin is en route to an army camp, specifically the King's army camp on the border of the Shattered Plains, I believe. Yeah, the Shattered Plains. And we leave Kaladin just as they are arriving to the Shattered Plains. So like I said, not a lot happens with Kaladin just yet. However, we do get introduced to two other characters who will turn out to be main characters. One is a young, noble, Bright Eyes by the name of Shallan Navar. I believe her last name is Navar, but I could be wrong about that. I believe her last name is Navarre. I can't find it right now. But she is following one Yasna Kolin, who's the sister to the now king of Alethkar, who we haven't met yet. And she is going to her to become an apprentice of hers as a scholar. But she has had to chase Yasna around for the last couple of weeks. And not a lot happens with Shalon either right now, as we really only get 2 chapters from her, which is just her, mostly just her speaking to the sailor crew that she has hired on to get her to Yasna, and upon reaching and catching up to Yasna, we are leaving her off on her arriving to finally catching up with Yasna and approaching her while she is having a meeting with someone. So not a lot has happened yet, but we're less than 100 pages into the book, and things will start picking up pretty quick. So that's where we are currently. Like I said, I plan on having these up every Monday as I go through, and I will be going through the entire series. So The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, Oathbringer, Rhythm of War, and I will be finishing up, assuming that I can keep on schedule, I will be finishing up the Rhythm of War about a week to maybe 2 weeks after the 5th book comes out. So can't wait for that. That'll be a good, awesome thing. But this is my project for this year, is to get through this series. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys all find a good, solid book to read that gets you through the upcoming week. Until next week. Well, actually, it would probably not be next week. It'll probably be Friday when I will see you guys again. So until then, enjoy reading and find a good book.